Well, I always liked languages very much. I was exposed to languages when I was 12, and I fell in love with English. I had a very good teacher in my first years, educational academic years, and I really enjoyed it. The point is that I decided then to work as a language teacher, not in a school in the sense that it would be just a subject. I wanted it to be communication, developing communication skills. So I worked for 1 year as a teacher for elementary, primary students up to high school and secondary education, but then I decided, no, it's not my cup of tea. I really, either I will kill those students or they will kill me. So I decided to teach adults which are motivated. They come to class because they need to. Their motivation may vary, but they need to develop their English skills. My teaching style is focused on communication, but I know that it's very important for students to develop their techniques on uh, communicating, presenting. Also, they have to develop their grammar structure because you are a foreigner and you are going to have an accent, but it doesn't mean that you're going to make very basic grammar mistakes, sounding like you are uneducated. Actually, in your mother tongue, you should take care of not making mistakes when you're speaking. And in the professional world, be it in your mother tongue or using a foreign language, you have to convey confidence. You have to convey the ability that you know what you're talking about. If you are thinking of becoming an English teacher, it's a very rewarding occupation, not financially. Of course, you can live on that income, but you have to decide if you want to work for an institute or a language school where you're going to have a more steady pay and you don't have to be looking for new students. On the other hand, when you are self-employed, you have to be constantly on the watch for new students. Students, they come and go for different reasons, and you have always to be selling yourself, not only worried about teaching, but billing, invoicing your students, keeping track of a number of classes, rates, fees, negotiating with the students sometimes. So it's important to know that, and also to be constantly studying. You have to be studying all the time, learning not only new vocabulary, but learning new approaches, new techniques, because you have to be constantly recycling yourself. The good thing is that you are enabling people to communicate. You are opening to them a whole universe. The bad thing is that many times students, they expect you to do all the work for them. I know English, so I have to give that to them on a tray. And that's not the way. They have to become aware that they have to study and study hard. They have to study for years to really become fluent in the language and make it not their goal. The student's goal shouldn't be to learn the language, but to be able to use that language for higher goals. The ugly is that sometimes it can be very frustrating when you've been working with a student for months, years, and they still make the same mistakes over and over again. Many times you notice that the students are not listening to you. They hear the sounds, they even understand what you said, but they are not paying attention to it. So it's a simple thing. Like, for example, students keep on saying, listen to me, and you say, listen. This is like if it was a double S sound. Forget the T in the middle, and they, okay, listen to me. And they repeat it again in a wrong way. So that's an ugly aspect. It can be very frustrating having to repeat yourself constantly. I think that for many years ahead, many people are still going to be looking for teachers to teach them, and the market is going to be important as long as the United States is a superpower, as long as people need to trade with other people, and the lingua franca nowadays is English. So you have to learn it. There is the idea of globish and international simplified version of English, but at the end of the day, you have to learn the English spoken in other English speaking countries as well. You cannot just get kind of a pidgin English or a patois or a simplified version, me happy or something like that, because it's gonna be frustrating for you anyway. So if you have to learn it properly. And my advice is keep on encouraging your students and keep getting yourself encouraged. One motivation is money, for sure. You get paid for that. And even if you don't need the money, you say, oh, I just want to teach it as a hobby. But students will value it more if they are paying for it, even if it's a little amount of money. Rates can vary a lot based on students' location, social, professional bracket where they come from, but you have to keep on encouraging them to learn constantly. But it's a really rewarding occupation.